Kitty cat, meow, $1,000. Snooky's pregnant.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name's Alex and you are watching BC Adventure. Since we've been discussing Plex and Jellyfin over the last month or so, I thought it would be important to showcase another alternative to Plex and Jellyfin, and that application is called Emby. It is a different media streaming service that's available through the Community Applications tab on your Unraid server, and it is pretty easy to get set up, and today I'm going to walk you through the steps on getting that done. Now, I just want to be fully transparent and say that it is not an application that I have used regularly. I did try it out a couple years ago, and it just wasn't for me. But just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not right for you or somebody else out there. Now, with that being said, I'm not giving up on the Jellyfin challenge. I've quickly found out that day after day, my family is making that transition on their own because Plex has been so unreliable playing content. So without any doing from myself other than showing my family that the application's available on our Apple TVs, they're just using it. They're going in and using that application themselves because it is just simply working. So with all that being said, I'm not giving up on Jellyfin. I'm continuing to use it day in, day out, not only on my iPhone, but here regularly in the house and even on my web browser when I'm working in office. So make sure to leave any comments and suggestions down below if you have any tips or tricks to help further my enjoyment of the Jellyfin application. But with all that being said, let's jump into getting Emby set up. And this is a fairly easy tutorial. There's nothing complicated about doing what we're going to do. So even a novice user can follow along. And oh, just really quickly, because I keep forgetting to mention it, check out my website that I just made for the channel. It is bcadventure2015.ca. And there you can get in contact with me and make content suggestions. So if there's something you would like to see covered here on the channel, an application on Unraid, please let me know down in on the contact page down below. I'm so used to saying that. Let me know on the contact page on my website. And if you're another creator or a software vendor or a manufacturer that would like your product to be showcased on the channel, you can contact me through my website as well for a sponsored video. And I look forward to hearing your suggestions and possibly working with any future sponsors out there because that would be nice. It would be a nice addition to the channel. And all of you know out there that I am extremely honest and transparent, and that will be a caveat to working with a company that my views are mine, and whether they're good or bad, they will be posted in that video, whether it's sponsored or not. So anyways, let's jump right into getting Emby set up here and jump right into it. All right, so to get started, we're going to head over to our Community Apps tab, which I've already got opened, and we are going to search for Emby. And today we're going to be using the official repository here. So in my case, I'm going to go Actions Install, but it should show up for you just like this in Install tab, unless you've had it previously installed. So I'm going to go ahead and click Install. And then we need to set our multimedia folder. So in this case, I'm going to set mine here as multimedia. And in here, I've got my TV shows, music, and movies. And then there, I'm going to click Save. And this port is not currently being used, so I don't need to change that. However, double check your ports. Make sure you're not interfering with another port you have. And to do that, you can just click on Show Docker Allocations. And then you can just scroll through here and make sure that nothing is going to conflict with it. So in my case, everything's good to go. So we're going to go ahead and click Install or Apply. And it's going to go ahead and download this wonderful Docker from the repository. And once this is done, we'll jump right back into the video. All right, so that's all finished up. Gonna go ahead and click Done. And you know what's next. I'm heading over to the Docker tab and I'm going to check the logs before we proceed. And right off the bat here, it says all entry points have started. So we are good to launch the app. So we're going to go ahead and click the icon and then Web UI. And here we're going to have to start setting up our Emby server. So in my case, I'm going to select English. And my username, I'm going to set as admin. And I'm going to set a password here. And then next. And here is where we're going to set up our media libraries. So first I'm going to select TV shows. And our download language is going to be English. Our certification country, I'm going to select the United States. And our preferred image download language, of course, is going to be English. And prefer embedded title, no, we don't want that. Enable real-time monitoring. Okay, oh, we can set our metadatas. All right, everything looks good here. Oh, set our subtitle language. Okay. All right, that looks good. Oh, have to add the folder. Where do we do that? Oh, right here. All right, so it said it was in Mount here and TV shows. All right, click OK, and then OK. And then next we're gonna do our movies. Movies, add the folder under Mount, Movies, and we're going to do the same that we did for the TV show. So we're going to set our language. We're going to set our certification country as United States. Now, the reason I'm setting it as United States, despite being in Canada, is that I find that setting it to United States, I get way better matches for the metadata. It's a lot more accurate. So that's why I always do that. Set the image download to language. Yeah. Good to go, good to go. Movie fetchers, chapters. Yeah, I'm going to set the subtitle language as well because the wife absolutely loves subtitles. And that looks good to me, so we're going to do OK. And what I did notice is that it looks like here that Emby supports quite a bit of other content as well. So we got music, audiobooks, books, games, music videos, home videos and photos, and mixed content. So that's pretty awesome. I'm glad that there's some extra options there. Again, that's something that Plex doesn't have. Well, I mean, yeah, it does, but I guess it's more of a something that Jellyfin doesn't have, I should say. So now that we've got our two main categories set up, I'm going to go ahead and click Next. And then configure remote access, enable automatic port mapping. I'm going to turn that off. And I accept the terms, Next. And it looks like we are all done. So I'm going to click Finish. Going to log in with our password that we set. And it looks like we've already got the scraper working here. So it's already starting to go through all my media files and get them added to the library. So we've got 1,255 items already set up there. Let's go over to Plex. There we go. Okay, let's go down to movies here. Library, 1,495 is what it's showing on Plex that I have. This is showing 1,255. All right. Let's head over to TV shows. Nothing found yet, so it is still scraping. So we're going to go ahead and let that do its thing. And then once this has gotten through its metadata, we'll jump right back into the video here so that I actually have more to actually show you. So, oh, there we go. It says it's 90% done. And then it will hop over to the TV shows. However, the TV shows, I've got 512 series here, and there are a ton of episodes. Like, if I go down to, let's say, the Colbert Report, there's 696 episodes there. What about the Daily Show? There's almost 2,000 episodes there. So that might take a little bit in order to get through it all. But nonetheless, we're going to wait for this to finish up. And then once this is done here on Emby, we will jump right back into the video. So yeah, we'll be back in a second. All right, so the movies category has completely finished scraping. So all the metadata is downloaded, and I've tested a couple of the movies that I know Plex has issues with, and they are working phenomenally. So for instance, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, this just so many issues on Plex. It would try and transcode it even though it's in the right format to direct play, and then that would set the server fans to max because the CPU is pinning out. And well, look what happens when I press play. It just works. Plain and simple, no issues. It's working. Let me yeah, it just works. No problem. So we'll close this out before I get flagged here. And yeah, all the metadata downloaded perfectly. Nothing was missed. Everything is showing up correctly. And there's absolutely no issues. And yes, there's a lot of Christmas movies because my wife is obsessed. Yeah, no issues. It is a little slow to load when you're scrolling through as fast as I am. However, it is working absolutely perfect, and I cannot be happier with this. And yeah, it's working great. Now, if I go over to TV shows here, actually, we'll go back to home. As you can see, it's at 90%. Now, once it gets to 90%, that means it's done scanning all the media files, and now it's at the point of downloading the images and the metadata for all the files. So with me having so many TV shows and seasons attached to those TV shows, it's going to take a couple hours to get fully done. The movies took about an hour to get fully done. So, you know, there's a lot more TV show files than there are movie files. So it's going to take substantially longer. Now, with all that said, let's jump over to the settings here and have a look at what's going on over here. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that the port number here is actually the same as Jellyfin. So after this fully scrapes, I am going to have to change the port that Emby uses. And if you notice here, the icon is quite similar to the Jellyfin one. And one thing that I noticed in the Jellyfin logs is that it looks like it's using a fork of Emby. So take that information as you may. And having a look at the Get Emby Premiere here, let's just have a look at that. It's $5 a month, USD, just so you know, or $54 for the year, or $119 for lifetime, which is substantially cheaper than Plex. Plex has gone up to $9.98 a month, I believe, or $9 a month, somewhere in that range. And you know, so it's a little bit more expensive. But even if you convert the $4.99 USD to Canadian, like that's still only like $7, $7.50. So it is still a little bit of a savings if you pay monthly, but you can't beat the lifetime price. That is, that's just a great deal compared to Plex. Now let's go back here. So if we go to general, we do have the option to set a cache path and automatic updates. We can even set a login disclaimer. If we go to users, this is where we can add new users. Emby Premiere, this is where we would set our license key. Our library, this is where we can add new library folders. You can have live TV with Emby. You can change your network settings. So if you use it with a domain, you can set that domain in here. So that's where you do this under external domain. Transcoding, you can set how that works, which is great because you don't have that functionality with Plex. You can customize your database. So if you don't want 128 megs, you want to bump that up maybe to 256 or 512. You will get a little bit better performance if you have a larger library like myself. However, I'm not going to update this until it's done scanning all my media. Conversions, you will get a list of your conversions here. So if you've converted anything from the Emby dashboard, it will show up here. You can set scheduled tasks. You can check out your logs, which I really like, how it just gives you a log file link right here instead of having to go into your app data folder and find it through there. You can set cinema intros, and then you can also put in your username and password for open subtitles. If we go down here to devices, it'll show all connected devices to your Emby server. It'll show you what users have downloaded offline files. It lets you set a camera upload path similar to the broken feature that Plex has, and you can even set it to use DLNA. If you go down here, Emby, much like Jellyfin and Plex used to have, has a plugins feature. And not only do they have the plugins feature, but they also include a catalog. So you can select here a number of plugins to further extend your Emby server. It allows API keys, so if you do have something like N8N, you can integrate this with your N8N settings or application. You can control your metadata. Let's go back to the settings here. And you can back up and restore your Emby configuration. So, very much similar settings as to what Plex and Jellyfin have, but I am finding this a little bit more refined and a lot cleaner. Plex, you know, like for someone like myself, I completely understand the setup and the settings, but for someone who's just jumping into their first media server, I actually think this is a great first step. Once you figure all those things out, you can then move over to Jellyfin, which of course, as you all know, is completely free to use. So I am extremely happy with this. I am quite blown away because it's been a couple years since I've attempted to use Emby. And what I think I am going to do is a side-by-side comparison once I hit the 90-day mark for the Jellyfin video. So as you're probably aware, I'm going to be doing a 90-day video once the 90 days is reached. And I'm going to be going over everything in and out, what I like and don't like about Jellyfin and the comparison to Plex. And because I'm actually quite enjoying Emby here, I'm going to throw Emby into the mix as well. So this is a great home media server option if you are looking to get into running your own home media server. Plex, of course, is good, but I just can't get behind their business model anymore. That is a personal preference. That's not something that you may agree with, and that's totally fine. And that's okay. Everyone has their own preferences. And to be perfectly honest, my preference was with Plex for the longest time because it was my first home media server. So I had gotten to know it, and I've enjoyed its layout and some of the updates that have happened over the years. And I'm just, in general, not happy with it anymore, but I was extremely happy with it at the time when I was fully invested into it. So this has given me another option and definitely some food for thought here because, yeah, I just happen to really enjoy using Emby, and I didn't know that I would. So learned something new here. Now, I know quite a few of you are probably going to ask how I get all my media. Well, that's not something that I'm going to discuss on the channel. However, I am thinking about doing a sonar and radar tutorial, and from a media management standpoint, how you implement it after that is totally up to you. But if that is something you're interested in, let me know down in the comments below, or shoot me a message through my contact page at bcadventure2015.ca, and I'll leave a link to that down below. But yeah, I am extremely happy with this. It's definitely given me another option. And like I said, once this is done scraping through all my media, I am going to update the port, and I'm going to leave this up. Now, I just want to throw in a quick Jellyfin issue that I ran into. And it's actually the reason why it's off right now is because at 2 in the morning, I woke up to my server just screaming with the fans. And I actually noticed this almost every night, that when it's scanning my media files, it is for some reason utilizing 60 to 75% of my CPUs. Now, I don't have any restrictions on the Docker container. So if I go to advanced view, it's using all my cores. I haven't restricted it. But why it is using all 40 cores, I don't know. Why is it doing that just to scan my media? So last night it woke me up. It was loud enough that, and I'm a deep sleeper. So if it's waking me up, I can only imagine how my wife and kids felt hearing that in the middle of the night. So at 2 in the morning, I woke up and I stopped it because it was a little frustrating to wake up to. So that is something that I am going to investigate. However, I'm not going to start it up until after I update the port for Emby. Now, what I'll probably do for Emby is just set it on its own host network so that it has its own IP address, and then that way there's no configuration issues or port conflicts. So with all that said and done, I'm going to end the video here. Please let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you have a video suggestion, please hop over to the website at bcadventure2015.ca. Hit that contact tab, and there'll be a drop down where you can select how you want to contact me. And yeah, we'll go from there, and hopefully I get some good suggestions in the near future here. All right, I'm going to take off here. You guys have a great one. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for all the support, the subscribes, the likes, the comments. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm going to end the video with my little saying that I came up with, and that's, tech isn't perfect, and neither am I.